Welcome back, everyone. This is Arafellin playing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Last time we made it through the giant tree and are rewarded with more battlefields. Let's at least see if there are new monsters here. We have Ooze. The Ooze isn't new. The background is kind of a thing. Looks like that bottomless pit there. The grass is still too bright. I never liked the palette of green they used for grassy areas. It just hurts my eyes. Yep, and as I suspected when I mentioned it last time, after getting to level 29, Mega Grenades are still 162 power as before. The Dragon Claw is also 162 power, so the only reason you would want to use Mega Grenades in combat now are to damage multiple enemies and to avoid counterattacks. That's really it. They'll never be your strongest weapon again, unless the enemy is specifically weak against explosions. Wait, is this something new? A water hag. Alright, let's try clawing it first. They counter. Yeah, the sand ones did that too, didn't they? Alright, let's use the bombs. That should finish everything off, I think. Not quite. Water hag used the cure. Not cure spell, not just cure, just it's the cure. Whirl water. We're both strong against water attacks though, and it's not terribly powerful as far as magic goes, so not impressive. Anyway, there it goes. And one last battle remains. Back to just skeletons. Oh well, at least they're easy enough. Throw out a bomb to weaken them up. That's enough for Kaylee to finish them off. And then you just hope not to get hit by status effects. So, of course, we get hit by status effects. I'm also pretty sure getting hit when you're asleep does wake you up, so that's one thing. Getting hit when you're confused does not snap you out of it, though. Which is kind of annoying. Anyway, for cleaning them out, more experience. And I'll take it, but it's not exciting. Okay, another battle here. More sea hags. Unexpected attack. Water gun. I should probably be checking these for weaknesses just to figure out what they are. Yep, another new monster. We have vampires. I did determine that the water hags are weak against fire, but my fire spell isn't all that strong. Let's see if it's enough to finish them off with Kaylee helping, though. If vampires will confuse you. Vampires should also be weak against fire, but they're not. Maybe they're weak against wind? Yep. A little weird, but okay. The sea hags are not, though. But that was enough to take it out. And one last battle. Another unexpected attack, though. We seem to get them every battle at this spot, too. There was one earlier that had the same thing, so I'm guessing it's an actual flag they can put on the battlefield. Anyway, I've mostly been doing this. That's the first miss I got, though. Life spell as a death spell is surprisingly effective. I think I remember hearing that in other versions of the game, like the Japanese and European versions. Alright, that's its cure, not mine. Yeah, because I was using life spells on them and then I saw it get hit with a white magic. Wait, did I do that accidentally? And that's just more experience again. But anyway, as I was saying, I think I remember hearing that in the Japanese and European versions, they changed that so that the life spell, instead of undead enemies being immune to it, only undead enemies are vulnerable to it, which is probably what it was supposed to be in the first place. But that's not what happened. Also, there's that. There's a chocobo on the wind vane on the roof. We have wind out of control here. yeah, you can examine this. You get a chocobo. Which, of course, you know what that is if you're familiar with mainline Final Fantasy games, or even most Final Fantasy adjacent games, and the secondary ones and all that. Like, it looks like they just took the sprite directly from the 2, 3, 4, changed the palette a bit, stuck it on the wind vane. But yeah, I remember getting here when I first played this game as a kid. I didn't know what a chocobo was. I saw this thing and he reacts to it like it's a big deal, and just scratching my head. Also, Norma is apparently missing, whoever that is. The wind is so loud we can hear it inside. We have all these bookshelves that are just for show. You can't even examine them. There's someone here who looks important, so we'll try talking to him. At least I assume that's a him with the side hair and the mustache. Excuse me, are you Otto? Yeah, someone did mention an Otto, didn't they? My daughter Norma went to the tower with the Rainbow Road, but the wind broke the road-making machine. Stuck there until the winds died down? Okay, we've got to go to Mount Gale. We know from looking around the map earlier, the Crystal of Wind is on the tower, not in the mountain, but we do need to go to the mountain so we can get to the tower, so either way, we're headed to that mountain. I can't hear any more heal potions. There's this big fancy looking mechanism there, or at least like it's trying to look fancy and important. So we have our next destination. We also have an inn where we can buy cure potions. I probably should. It's not like the money's useful for much of anything else. And upstairs we have heal potions and refreshers. So there's an actual separate room for the beds in this inn, on a separate floor. We have the shutters blowing open and closed. That is a kind of neat effect. It's very simple, but it's effective. It shows you, yep, the wind is out of control. I guess they can't just latch the shutters shut. A Cupid Locket for 300 gold. And the Cupid Locket is, I believe, the top accessory type item. So we go from 1 defense with the charm to 3 defense and silence immunity with the magic ring. The locket gives us 6 defense in addition to silence, protect us against blind, and finally, confuse. So no more getting confused, at least for the protagonist, which is incredibly useful. This guy sells explosives, don't need them. And sort of lowish, I think we were in the 70s, but yeah, that's plenty. Not using them that often anyway. So it looks like a little shed over here, but it's got kids. You can't go out and play at the inn in the wind. No climbing on the roof in this wind. There's the Mobius crest again. I think that connected to that house in Fireburg. And that house is definitely much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's not unusual to do that, but it's rarely that egregious. Otto built the tower, Pazuzu invaded it. Okay. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. It is a thing that they mentioned, though. Otto built the tower. Pazuzu, of course, is the next boss with a crystal behind it. But yes, since Otto built the tower, it makes sense, as we find out when we get there, that it's got weird mechanisms in it. Right, you can buy seeds there after stopping the wind. The Mobius crest is buried in Spencer's place. If we had it, we could reach the ship dock, but Phoebe kind of caused a massive cave-in in Spencer's place. Also, how do they know about Spencer's place? Did he just have a little hideout under the house all along and he's just extending the digging out from there now? Anyway, another Mobius crest there. I guess that links over to Spencer's place. Yeah, you can't check the chocobo from here. Yeah, that looks like everything we can do in town. But now that we've been to town and gotten the clue about where to go next, we can come over here to the east towards the mountain. There's another temple here, the Windhole Temple. Temples and caves looks the same on the map. There's water down there, which it was supposed to be a whole big lake outside. Heal potions. But apparently the water went missing somehow because reasons. Something to do with the crystals, probably. Okay, so this is just a spot to get a few heal potions, and apparently that's it. Moving on. Mount Gale. Yes, we heard this music briefly on the rope bridge, which we now can't go back into for no real reason. But this will be the music for Mount Gale. This will be the music for the tower once we get to the tower. It's not as rocking as the Lava Dome volcano, but it has a certain adventurous feel to it. And in here we have the same monsters at the battle spot, the water hags and vampires sometimes. So let's just start looking around. I guess I'll do right-hand roll for now. Except I'm already not doing that. Stuff up here, there's a bridge over here that does not look like it should be able to hold itself up. Actually, you can just jump over the gaps. Okay, so this is back to the entrance, so that's a big loop around. This... does it even go anywhere? Oh, yeah, we can hookshot across, but we could get here anyway. So that's not really meaningful. Here's some vampires. The Dragon Claw can petrify vampires, which, as you may recall, is basically instant death. It's functionally the same thing. Alright, so just that there. So we can go further from the bridge, or we can keep going up more stairs past that skeleton I ignored. And probably over to the right. Let's try up here first. I feel like going up the stairs is where you want to go. Not necessarily true. There's a spot so you can hook across there. Yep, that goes nowhere. You can see a whole mountain range in the background. I think this was the same background we had at the volcano. I mean, reusing assets makes sense, and it's not like one mountain is that different from another as far as the backdrop goes. Yeah, here you can jump across. Just because you have the Dragon Claw doesn't mean you need to use it every time there's a break in the terrain. Right, vampires again. Cisco, nope, that goes nowhere. Actually, I have all this white magic, I might as well use it. And I've been basically using cure potions all the time, but that's not necessary. So we can go across here, it looks like, or go down there. And this is just a chest, so... Huh, I didn't realize that. You can petrify the sea hags, or water hags, with the Dragon Claw, but they can still counterattack. Okay. I'm pretty sure they can't counter when you kill them with raw damage, but I guess petrify doesn't count for that. It's a decision. Yeah, that's a really powerful heal. That up there went to nowhere, so here we have another bridge type thing. You can jump across this gap, I'm pretty sure. And is that the boss already? Tiny dungeon, if so. Yeah, there. It's petrified, but it still counterattacks. Not very nice. Neither is missing, but that's dealt with. Now this keeps going. Is that just a common enemy then? I feel like I have to look up here. Now there's something here. And it is the Apollo Helm. check that. So, yeah, it's just a straight upgrade from the Moon Helm. No extra resistances, but we do get an extra 6 defense. And maybe some evasion? I think I speculated that your armor does give you extra evasion, but without checking what this was before, I guess I can check back in the last time I looked at my status screen and see if there's a difference visible. Anyway. To get back from here, we either need to go through these, or leave the dungeon entirely, and that would be even more of a runaround. Yeah, so it looks like that's just the boss. Tiny dungeon. But we at least did get an armor upgrade, if not much of one, really. Alright, here we go. You're the one who's draining the Crystal of Wind's power. No, I don't think so. Yep, Pazuzu. Who else would it be? So what do we have? It's, Dullahan? Dullahan. The Headless Horseman. Alright, let's try out Meteor. I think I remember that working well, but it could just be that it's the most recent wizard spell you got, so I used it regardless of whether it worked well. Vampires are weak against wind, so... Okay, Dullahan is not weak against that. Drain attacks, I think, heal the user, although it doesn't show that. Head Boomerang. Weird portmanteau of head and boomerang. Yeah, Meteor's alright, but nothing special. Yeah, I think Kaylee's better off just attacking. White does good damage, but white always does good damage. Doom Dance sounds like an instant death, but it missed. Sure, Head Boomerang again. Multi-target damage, fairly strong. Thunder, not too impressive. Quake? I think Meteor is Earth Element, though. So if Quake was going to work, Meteor would have worked. Alright, gotta revive Kaylee. That's just damage. A lot of the times, attacks that look and sound like that are stat down effects. But not always. Same with attacks that look like that. Smiley Snowman, not much effect. Let's try fire. It looks undead, so that should work well. No, it's strong against fire. Speaking of looking undead, let's try Cure. It might backfire, but if it does, we can just start the battle over. Yeah, it's not undead. It just healed it a lot. So, that was a waste. How much does her arrow do on a single target against this? 700, so it is a bit better than her attack, but not that much. And all the armor we have and still no sleep immunity. Alright, let's try Meteor single target. See how effective that is compared to Bite. 1800. I think it's a bit stronger. I think White was like 1600. And he's asleep again. We might as well use the arrow. And he's dead again. Yeah, Kaylee has no other use for her black magic. And arrow did hurt a little more than her normal attack, so it's probably worth it. Yeah, normal attack was 690. Well, arrow was like 770, I think. Yeah, Meteor's your best spell against this guy. I think it just has more power, and there's no weakness to take advantage of, so use what's strongest. Of course, I did make it harder on myself by healing him like 5,000. horse is looking not in a good way. Almost out of wizard magic. So, one more blast of this. I doubt status effects will work. And the horse is now gone completely. And this sprite just doesn't look right. It's like he got twice as big. I mean, it's fine on its own, but when you see it coming after the sprite it had previously, it's just like, yeah, the horse is gone, now the guy's like 3 times as tall. Alright, I got a critical hit, but it doesn't look like the status effects work, which is to be expected. Yes, that's good. So now it's just mopping up. And there we go. Not great experience. And not even any dialogue. But that should have stopped the wind, which means Otto can do his wind thing now. Also, I can buy seeds, I think. But for now, I'm just going to stop by the end. Yeah, the wind has stopped. The shutters are shut. The background noise is gone. But for now, let's take a nap. This has been Arafel playing Final Fantasy Myxtic Quest, and that, I think, was the shortest dungeon since the Level Forest. All the way back at the beginning of the game. Next time, let's talk to Otto, and I think that'll open the way to the tower, and then we can go do something about the situation. Also, the kid's up on the roof now.